Hi guys, welcome back to the second video on penny stocks. And following on from the previous video, which was just sort of an introduction, we're going to look at a bit more detail now, and more importantly, how do we pick penny stocks? As I said in the first video, a lot of people lose a lot of money in penny stocks, and I think the reason is not because the stocks themselves are risky. I think it's more the people who trade them that are risky. And before we carry on, I thought it'd be good to just give you a bit of a reality check. I think this quote from Warren Buffett is really appropriate. And he said that risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. So if you dive into penny stocks, just blindly, picking stocks, hoping you're going to make 500% gain on a stock without doing your research, then you're probably going to burn your fingers. So hopefully these videos will help to sort of educate you and help you to learn, to know what you're doing. But keep it in mind that this penny stocks are cheap, but if you're gonna succeed with them, you're gonna have to buy volume, and volume is going to cost money. So be diligent with trading penny stocks. So just recapping from the first video, we said penny stocks are cheap and they have potential for huge growth, and that's why we want to trade them in the first place. But the problem is the risk. These are startup companies, there's no security. And then we said, how can we combine the two? How can we still tap into the huge potential without having all the risk? So in this video, there's a couple of things we need to look at. And I think if you don't remember anything from these videos, just at least remember the next bit. Picking penny stocks is different in that if you trade on the major exchanges, there's a lot of control, and the companies that are on major exchanges, it's very unlikely for them to just disappear. So even if you make really poor decisions, in the long run you will still have an asset. Okay, so on the New York Stock Exchange and on the Nasdaq, if you buy, even if you don't really know what you're doing, in the long run the stock will have some value for you. So chance of you losing all your money is slim to none. I mean, you can lose a lot of money, but it's not like penny stocks that are speculative companies that can just disappear overnight. So with penny stocks, it's quite possible for you to lose your entire investment. It's going to get wiped out. So there's a lot more regulation these days, but still just be aware of that. And because of that, they often, the charts just look weird. They don't have the volume and the popularity that you find on the major exchanges. So finding good penny stocks really is like finding a diamond in the rough. And if we apply a bit of common we can do well with this. So what we want to do, I mean, if and when I'm trading on the major exchanges, I don't really bother with fundamentals too much. I mean, fundamental analysis is a whole nother world. I mean, I'm a technical guy. I want to look at a chart and make decisions. And I think if you're day trading and momentum trading, obviously you want to look at charts. But I think if we for penny stocks at least, if we do some basic fundamental analysis, we can really eliminate a lot of the risk of losing our investment. So the first thing we want to do is we want to look for good technicals. And when I say good technicals for penny stocks, we want to look for something that at least as a recognizable pattern or a trend. I mean, you'll see a lot of penny stocks that the charts just look weird. There's either no volume, or the volume is so is so haphazard you can barely make sense of it. And then the second thing we want to do is we want to check that against the fundamentals of that company, because I think any good speculative company is making the news. So if we use those two filters, you're going to filter out at least 50% of the penny stocks, and you're going to filter out at least the 50% of the really bad ones. So just these two things can dramatically increase success. So keep that in mind. And then this video is probably going on too long already, and then the next video I'm going to show you just a simple step-by-step method that I use to find these penny stocks, and just based on those two principles we just talked about. And there's something I just want to clear up with stock screeners and picking penny stocks. I mean, there's a ton of these newsletters on the internet, and there's a lot of sort of signaling services and stock screeners that that pick stocks for you. And I mean, I am a bit of a computer geek, and I like software, and I like all those things. And as a word of warning, always use them as a tool. Don't use them blindly. But with penny stocks, it's so difficult to find the really good ones. I think a stock screener is really important. I mean, there's one that I've been using for a while. It's called Microcap Millionaires. It's a weekly newsletter, and basically every week they make they make a couple of stock picks, and then they kind of keep a tab on it. They're pretty good. I've had some good success with it, but in saying that, I usually I take their advice, and then I do some research myself. At least it saves you an awful lot of time. And the fact remains, these guys, that's all they do. They pick these stocks, they look at them every day. And I don't want to be sitting in front of my computer screen all day long checking stocks. So if you, I think it's about $50 a month. If that's too much for you, don't do it. But, I think if you trade more than 10,000 a month, then obviously $50 is nothing. It's money well spent, and it's not something you don't get a return for. So that's that for stock screeners. But in the next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show like the manual method. Obviously every screener has their own set of criteria against which they pick stocks. But I'll show you a manual method. So if you don't want to use a stock screener, then you can. And I would actually recommend it that you learn to do it yourself. You got to sort of get the hang of it. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video, and yeah, that's going to be an exciting one. See you there. Bye.